Hi everybody, D here at Versus Games. Just wanted to go over a couple things with you guys because I've had a lot of questions still coming to the store pertaining to events. When is Versus Games going to host events, and when do you expect most game stores to be doing this? And that's a legitimate question, and to which I would respond probably not for a while. They shouldn't be doing, game stores should not be doing events. We're not going to be doing events maybe going until next year and sometime like maybe Q3, Q4. And that's also depending on the cure and vaccine coming out. It's just too high risk right now. So it's a question that we've actually explained, but I want to go over a little bit more with the customers because they're asking about it too, and just give out some more information about it. The CDC released some guidelines pertaining to casinos and how their gaming works and how they categorize it too as well. And it's a really good section in the CDC. I implore all of you to try to check it out and read it, because it has a lot of relevance to game stores, and it puts gaming or casinos and game stores. There's 4 categories: low risk, more risk, even more risk, and highest risk. And based upon game stores' in-store gameplay, table setups, spacing, use of PPE, game stores would be considered the highest risk category. Now, I'm sure a game store could probably shoot for being even more high risk, but I don't think that's something you really want to shoot for, in my opinion. But right now, I would consider us in a game store itself based upon its overall in-store play situation, highest risk, flat out. Now, there are 3 things, there's a lot of things, but 3 main things that you can do to really mitigate. Not 100% guarantee the no spread of COVID within your game group, but masks are good. Masks to be worn at all times, keeping 6 feet apart from each other. Though, as you can tell, when you're gaming, that's very difficult. So therefore, that's probably one area you probably shouldn't be doing. And the other one would also obviously be not staying in any particular area for extended long periods of time. That's indoor or outdoors too as well, especially if you're like gaming in that type of scenario. So it was brought to my attention, well, hey, D, why don't you guys use plexiglass dividers? And that was something we actually explored a while back, like we should start doing this. And then more research came out about it, and we looked more into it too as well, especially for hosting drafts. We're like, okay, we can do this, and then it turned out, no, we can't. This is not something that can actually be done or should be done. But why? Why shouldn't we do this? Why don't we do this? Well, the plexiglass dividers don't give you the full protection that you think it does. Now, it's under kind of a false narrative, like, hey, if you have plexiglass dividers, they should protect you. They will protect large droplets. They do not protect the smaller nuclei droplets that actually climb over and go around plexiglass dividers. Now, if you're outside too, the same thing. You've got even wind pushing it in different directions too as well. So that's probably not a good idea too as well, especially if you're drafting with Magic the Gathering specifically in that kind of gaming format, when you're right next to each other, left and right to one another. I mean, that's way too close. And like I said, the CDC guidelines say you should be 6 feet apart from another person. So there are some guidelines that were released to casinos that are very relevant to game stores, and that's something we looked at pertaining to whether we're going to reopen or not, or doing store events. And it's some serious information. It's very relevant to game stores, and I ask, hey, if you have questions, you can look on that site too as well. I'll post a link there too for you guys can check it out. But it was really interesting in seeing how close casinos and game stores that have in-store play really are. So I mean, again, it's still in my opinion, and not just mine. I think there's a lot of people that share this too as well. There's no cure, there's no vaccine. There should be no game store doing in-store play. It's just something that should not be happening. I don't believe it's very responsible. It's very dangerous to put your customers at risk, and that's why we are not doing that. And I know that may put some individuals off, that we're still not hosting events, but I'm considering your safety and the safety of my staff too as well. Because even us, we have some family at home with a compromised immune system, so we also want to take care of them. So, it's a good question. When are events coming back? Why don't you host them? That's why. Why don't you use plexiglass dividers? That's why. Why aren't you doing drafts? That's why. So until there's a vaccine or cure, to be honest, I don't foresee us having realistically any events coming through. So just being transparent. I know it's awkward, I know it's tough, but I know we're all antsy to get out there and normalize things, but be patient. We're gonna get through this together. But yeah, we should not be hosting in-store events currently. Right now it's still dangerous, and that's that. All right, okay, I hope I answered your questions. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.